Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm TonyOLawson, CEO and co-founder of Shoppe Black. Today, I'm speaking with Abu Kamara, the president of Grovara. So, Abu, how you doing today, bro?
Good. I'm doing good. Okay, Tony. Thank you so
Hey.
much, man. This is a great platform. I really love the work that you guys are doing at Shoppe Black. It's really incredible.
Thank you.
So it's a great outlet.
Thanks, bro. So, tell us about Grovara, man. Like, how did you get started, and what inspired you to actually start the business?
Well, Grovara is the first B2B global marketplace for wellness brand. And we've been in this business for several years now. One of the things that we saw that really, inspired us to be able to get into this space is we saw that the standard distribution for products, like US brands going global was really, really old, right? What I'm saying is basically the things that people used to do back in the 1960s and 70s, as far as connecting with buyers globally and selling brands is still the same that they're doing.
Yeah.
So we went, we did this business for about 5 years. We sold dozens of US brands globally, right? Some of the partners that we work with are Walmart Mexico, Cencosud Chile, Whole Foods UK. And there was a gap, right? Number one, I think exporting of brands, wellness brands and other brands has not embraced technology, kind of like how you and I will buy off Amazon and other marketplaces like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw, just the painstaking problems that buyers go through. Specifically, even if Whole Foods UK is trying to buy a brand from the United States right now, even if that brand is sold at Whole Foods US, there's no clear communication between the two stores, and the buyers will contact companies like us, the older Grovaras, just trying to find out about brands and things of that nature.
Sure.
And they will actually make a purchase via email, send in a PDF, Excel spreadsheet in order for them to place the order. So just to see how archaic and old the business transactions are and how buyers, go through painstaking work just to discover brands and how brands don't know nothing about global, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw an opportunity to not only revolutionize the way how brands are going global, but more so trying to take familiar technology like a marketplace and just bring it in between the brands and the buyers and be able to automate that whole process. So that's how the thing came about. It's just frankly knowing the business and seeing all the manual gaps that are there.
Right. So obviously, this is a problem that is within the international distribution industry that you all are addressing at Grovara. Are these like some of the problems that you were seeing also as someone who was dealing one-on-one with B2B?
Definitely, man. So again, so the reason why we are in a unique position that is different than other startup because we've spent several years within the business itself. So we know the business, we know the struggles that business partners go through. So it came from a good understanding of all those pains, So just to give you an example, in order for a retailer, so first of all, there's no one website that a retailer can be able to find hundreds of brands in one place, let alone do the discovery on that platform, sample the product, order the samples, make the purchases, transactions, documentation, and everything.
Yeah.
It was all decentralized, right? So it was about, number one, we had no easy way to discover brand except we physically go to a trade show.
Right.
And then number two, the retailers and the brands themselves were blinded. So that was what we saw. We saw that gap within the space, and that's the solution that we provided.
So walk me through the process. Let's say, okay, a major retailer or mid-sized retailer comes to you and they're like, hey, Abu, we are looking for an almond milk brand, right? And they're based in London. What would you do for them?
So we do the reverse. Actually, we take US brands global.
Right.
So let's
So
put
I'm
that
talking
around.
about like a US brand that actually has like an international
Inquiry.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, 96% of United States brands don't sell globally. 96%. It's such a crazy thought, right? You think America is this huge country where, people will sell everywhere because there's so much data and information and so many ways to connect. But if you go deeper, just one level down, America is like 50 countries, right? Maryland itself, where I'm at right now, can be, Poland, Belgium. Maryland's economy is probably equivalent as Belgium, right? So if I'm a brand, I have 50 plus Belgiums to sell to. That makes the United States. So they don't even think global. So to answer your question, if a brand tries to connect with an international buyer in the UK, even though the cultures of the UK and the United States is not that far off, they don't even have any idea who that company is.
Right.
They don't know the process of registering in the country. They don't know how to vet the international buyers. When it comes to transactions, currency exchange is not a stress that the brand wants to go through, let alone knowing the documentation that is needed in order for them to ship in clear ports, and also receiving payment, how to receive payments, how to make sure that the product labels, right? So one of the brands that we represent is GT Kombucha, and it's in the UK right now. We made it the #1 kombucha brand in the UK. And GT's, as a big company, nothing was their fault when it comes to global, but it had to come back and ask us, how can we make a label for our bottles in order for us to be approved in the UK, because it's different regulations. So they're completely blinded, right? And if you're a brand like GT's, last year GT sold about $500 million in the United States. Why would you stress about opening the UK when you're making $500 million here? So it's not their day-to-day, and it's not their core competencies. That's why they just outsource that. And we just so happen to build a marketplace, the first in the world, that captures all of that. And it's seamless, it's easy.
Okay. Now, you just mentioned one of the brands that you work with, GT Kombucha. What other types of brands and retailers do you work with, and what different countries are they located in?
So we work with all wellness brands. Wellness brands is any brands that's at least natural and at the highest level organic, then things like that. So categories goes across the spectrum. Right now, most of our brands is between the food and beverage wellness, so you're talking about GT's Kombucha, #1 kombucha brand on the planet, Wholesome Sweeteners, #1 organic sweeteners, True Citrus, leading natural powdered citrus beverage. We have tons of gluten-free snacks, that type of thing, right? So those are the brands. And on the buyer side, we work with two types of buyers. #1, retailers, right? And the retailers encompasses specialty retailers. So you're looking at your natural stores, organic stores, any supermarkets that has a dedicated wellness aisle, that stores a lot of healthy products. That can go from an independent natural store all the way to Walmart. And we work with some countries based on their distribution. They have a lot of mom and pop natural stores. So we work with specialty distributors too that will get those products into the single stores that may not be able to directly buy in bulk and order from the United States. So it's the wellness brands and the international retailers and specialty distributors.
Sure. So obviously you don't carry every single natural or organic brand, that's ever produced in the US. What criteria or quality assessment do you go through to make sure this brand is up to your standards and the standards of your buyers also?
Good question. So one of the things that we say for brands is you have to be able to invest globally, right? So let me give you an example. So the straight answer is, the first criteria is you have to make at least $5 million a year in the United States. And why we have that number is, when you reach $5 million, your revenue is at a point where you will be able to invest in brand development and marketing, right? So if I'm launching a brand in Chile, Chile, it's a very sophisticated country in Latin America, probably the most developed country, but as far as per capita technology and income, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
If you take Chile as the state of California, right? If you're a United States brand and you're launching in the state of California, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to probably put hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing, right? Trying to make sure, people know the brand and trying to make sure the retailers that you're going to sell to have a good understanding of how to represent the brand. Right. So we tell the brand, the second thing is you have to be able to invest globally, right? So if I'm launching you in Chile, you can just launch and sell, or you can launch and put the marketing funds in order for you to really grow within the market and be one of the top brands within the category. So you have to do $5 million a year. You have to be able to invest in marketing, and you have to have the capacity to assign at least one or two people from your team that could work with Grovara's team and platform, in order for you to be able to put the time and really go global. So those are three things we will look for. And the overall thing, as I said, you have to be a wellness brand itself.
Okay. Yeah, that's financial stability is key to operating on a global scale, right?
Yeah, definitely. It takes money to make money. So, people don't just see a brand in the store shelf and pick it up, right? So when you do make it to the store shelves, there's a whole investment in marketing that needs to happen. And we have partners locally in those countries outside of our marketplace that, behind the scenes, we can work with the brands to be able to connect with those partners and invest the right funds in order to make the brands move off the shelves when it's in the stores at that time.
Interesting. So in terms of trends, like what are you seeing? Are there certain countries like in the Middle East, they might be interested in a certain type of beverage or snack, and in the UK or other European countries, they might be interested in something else versus Latin America?
Definitely. So one of the things that we do is, let me just recap again. Grovara is the first B2B marketplace for wellness brands, right? So, and I think this is something we did not cover at the start. So what that means is we are a marketplace, similar to Amazon, how you and I will buy personal items from Amazon. Retailers now have the ability to connect with brands on a marketplace and buy items for their store shelves.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we see with the trends is we're also partners with Spins. Okay. Just to let your viewers know, Spins is the #1 data provider for the wellness industry. Spins also invested in Grovara. They have all of the insights and wellness data and trends for brands and consumer buying within the natural and organic space in the United States. So we have embedded a lot of that data within Grovara's platform. So to your question is, regions have their trends. For instance, in the Middle East right now, the biggest trend is keto. If you have anything that's keto, so whether it's keto snacks and all of that, like Dubai is big, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, keto snacks, keto food and beverages is flying off the store shelves. In the UK, interestingly enough, you think the UK is more developed, like as far as understanding about wellness brand itself. Keto is not as big in the UK right now. Keto is literally just starting to kick off. So we're selling more keto brands in the Middle East, specifically the Gulf countries, whereas the UK, you have sophisticated retailers like Tesco that's even telling us now keto is still new. We need to give it a year before we invest in those categories. So it just tells you how regions work and how understanding the consumer buying behavior, how it's different from country to country.
Interesting. Okay. So a little short while ago, we just discussed the brands that you work with have to be able to basically hold their own financially, come to the table with a certain amount of financial stability so they can basically play the international distribution game. When it comes to Black-owned businesses specifically, right? Historically, underfunded.
Definitely.
Access to capital is a challenge. There aren't lots, a multitude of Black businesses out here with $5 million to kick around, especially in that particular space, the natural food and beverage specifically. So like, could you speak on what your thoughts are around raising money as a business owner, and also what your thoughts are on how to get around, or what needs to be done in order to have more Black businesses represented or supported in terms of capital and funding?
Cool. So, yeah, great question. So we know when it comes to fundraising, unfortunately, because of how society is in various ways, Black-owned founders and other minorities to struggle to raise funds. Specifically, Black founders, venture capitalist funds go to only 1.3%. So 1.3% of venture funds are going to Black founders, which is really sad, right? And a lot of that is systematic. And I'm finding out cases where some venture funds are so used to dealing with a certain group of people, even when you look at what's happening in San Francisco. So even though some of those funds may not realize that they're within a systematic structure, they're just going to talk to who is in their network, right? You know, which happens to be 98.7% non-Black. So, you know, this, you know, we're actually seeing this right now too. But I think there needs to be a strong effort in educating the venture capitalists about the need to look at Black-owned founders, you know, and look at the businesses and solutions that they have, and make an effort in order to start investing and being partners with those companies, because various reasons, right? And I'll get to the second part. The first point is there's so much creativity within the Black landscape. There's so much innovation, right? And there's such a vast untapped market.
Definitely.
You know, so from purely a business perspective, that's a whole market segment that they're not seeing because of systematic reasons and just blindfulness, and sometimes willful blindfulness. That's the first part. Now your second question is, you know, is basically what Grovara is going to do, you know, in order to get a lot of Black founders and Black brands within our catalog. So I had a discussion with my team about a month ago, roughly, right? And I was looking at this because I take that very personal, right? You know, I mean, I'm a prime example of this, right? So if I did not have the drive by myself, you know, and form the right partnership with my business partner, the world will not have the opportunity to experience my creativity, you know, thought process, blah, blah, blah. So
the world is happy to experience your creativity. And we thank you.
No, but on a serious thing too, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurs like that. So, but what we're doing now is, you know, we have a requirement of $5 million, but I've already spoken with my team. There's a lot of Black and minority-owned companies because of systematic reasons that may not be at that level right now. So we're definitely going to drop that down. We're going to accept Black and other minorities, good brands that are, say, making $1 million a year, right? And pushing that further, I've obviously spoken with my team, and we have made this part of our company goal. Is not only to have a diverse set of vendors, it's also to have a very diverse team. You know, like I tell them this joke, like, because we're a global company, you know, because diversity is so central to me, and my, you know, business partner as well, we're gonna be like the United Nations as a team. I want as many cultures and background as possible, because I think it's a rich environment that you have when you have people from different walks of life, different cultures, different background, coming together, having the same goal and walking in one purpose and one goal. Another aspect that I'm very keen of is women leadership, right? So as much as how we're pushing in diversity from a cultural perspective, I think, you know, we need 50% of our leadership and 50% of our team should be women.
Mm.
So to answer your question shortly is yes, we understand the struggles that come with fundraising, and we're actively trying to educate the venture space in order to go to the diversity route more. And we understand the limitations that comes with Black and other minority-owned companies, in order to really scale. So we are really trying to work with them as a partners and showcasing much more Black and other minority brands within our platform.
Nice. So one thing that, it's clear businesses need is obviously sales. You need money coming in the door, right? And you need an operation on the back end. What are your thoughts on the needs, what the Black business owners need specifically? One thing or a few things that you've noticed that are necessary to keep a business going to the point where it's either on autopilot, or you can now pass this business down, generations. And it's not just, okay, I had a business for 6 months, now this thing has fizzled out because I couldn't do X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Definitely. So just to start from the top there, I think number one, you have to have a solid team. It's all about team. Okay. So, you can have the best ideas, the best technology. You can be the only one in a certain space. If you don't have the team, you're going to fail. So from an investment perspective, in order for you to have a company that lasts past you, is you have to build the right team, and you have to build a mindset within the team that it's not about one person that created this company or started this company. It's about a goal. And you have to have a cohesive team that share that goal and works together in a very good way. I'm big about team, and I give opportunities to everybody, right? You can be the most junior person in the company. I will bring you in certain meetings, right, just to learn your ideas.
Sure.
So it's about the team, and it's about respecting the people around you and giving them the right opportunity. After that, I will say it's about building structures and systems as well, and making sure your business development and sales process is legit, right? Because it's not a walk in the park out there, right? Like, competitors are going to be brutal. Okay, so making sure you have the right system and processes, the right strategy. So you have to think through all of these channels and make sure that you're tight with that. And after that, like, if you have the right funding, man, and your idea is great, you are serving a purpose where you can be one of the best with that. And then when I say best is, I'm not even talking about making the most money. I'm talking about from a service perspective, you are one of the best. Then you're gonna have legs. And then just managing your money, man, managing your expenses, know when to invest, how to invest in certain things.
Right.
Those are the ingredients that you put in the same pot and just cook it, man, and just be the chef that you are.
Now, you just said something really important. You spoke about purpose, right? So, like, what would you say is your purpose? Like, what is your end game? What is your reason for? What's your why, as they say?
My why. Okay. Why am I doing this? We can talk about the why and the how. But just the why. No, my why is, I believe I was placed on earth to really use my entrepreneurship abilities and luckily talent, God given, to help develop Africa straight up. So everything I'm doing now is going to lead to that, right?
Yeah.
And obviously everyone has their journey. Grovara is an important part of my journey. The things that I learned from this experience, and we're going to make it a success. I'm just going to take and utilize within Africa. And part of that is creating a venture fund that funds startups across the continent, help existing entrepreneurs develop businesses that will tackle social issues, economic issues, and also develop across the continent. And I love the building part about companies, man. Weirdly, I'm not a guy that will have, say, if God bless us, Grovara's like $2 billion. I'm not the guy that just want to sit there and just, I got a $2 billion company. No, I want to build something else.
Yeah.
Like, I like the work part. So I start from the strategy, vision, map that out with my partners, but I really, really love just building, man.
Okay.
You know, so it's like just being in the foxhole, you know, being in the trenches. My team will tell you that. Like I will do some simple stuff every day, while I'm doing the more complex and strategic stuff.
Sure.
So I would love to build companies across the continent, man.
Okay.
I think the developing a good private sector and entrepreneurs base across Africa, working with like-minded people, just solving problems through entrepreneurship. I think from my worldview, from my why,
Sure.
and that's the how, I think that's how Africa could really, really develop and build.
Nice. So in wrapping up, where do you see Grovara in the next 5 years? What's the end game there?
So I literally, sometimes I just see stuff, and like visionary type of stuff from a vision perspective. I see us being the #1 B2B global marketplace for wellness brands. I literally see us in the position where, from a natural state, if a global retailer is trying to get a healthy brand from the United States, the first thing they think about is Grovara.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if a brand is saying, okay, we've done good in the United States, we want to go to the EU, Africa, Middle East, the first thing that they think about is Grovara. So just make Grovara being the #1 marketplace and the platform in that space that both brands and retailers go to when they want to sell globally, when they want to buy from global.
Nice. Okay.
So
hey,
there you have it, okay?
Now that sounds great. Last question. What advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Man, oh man. I'll say it's 2 things, maybe 3. The first thing is, I know everybody say like, do what you're passionate about. That's cool. But I will say deeper than that, do what you're good at.
Okay.
So find that thing that you're good at, right? And then the second thing is become one of the best at the thing that you're good at. And the third thing is make sure that thing makes some goddamn money.
Yeah, I was about to say, what if you're good at sleeping?
Make sure it makes some heap load of money, right? So it's about just focus on what you're good at, get better at that, right? Become the best at that, or one of the best, and find a good way to monetize that.
Okay.
That's it. If you do those 3 things in everything, you are going to be successful. Once you keep at it, once you strive, once you don't quit, you keep on going, you inevitably will be successful.
Right.
So from a simplistic perspective, that's it. There's, struggles and issues that come with anything in life, but just have those 3 simple things in mind, man. Okay. Don't be great at the guy that makes 6-finger gloves, okay? There's not that many people with 6 fingers out there, right? So which is the third point? It has to make money.
It has to make money.
Right.
So
once you figure that out, man, you'll be good.
Okay. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. If it don't make sense, it won't make money.
It makes sense.
All right.
It takes money to make money, man.
It takes money to make money and some brains. Nah, thanks for your time, bro. I definitely appreciate it. Let's do this again sometime.
Likewise, Oga. Thank you so much, man. And I love this, by the way. This is, your Shoppe Black is doing great. Hey, just a little bit about Shoppe Black. I'm so proud of you, man. You and your team and what you guys have been doing. Obviously, you've been out for like 5 years now. So from the start, you had a goal of creating a platform to help, Black businesses learn and connect with other partners and be successful from that point. Yeah. Even when it was not the most popular thing or the most, thing to do, right? Yeah, but you had a vision and then you guys had a plan. So it's great to see the level that you are right now. Grovara will love to partner with you because you and I talked about the partnership that you have with other marketplaces where you are a conduit, a platform for Black-owned businesses, Black-owned brands to be able to sell through marketplace and bring more revenues. Yep. So you and I discussed a little bit about this. So I would love to structure something before the end of this year you know, because like I said, part of our goal is to really reach out to a good amount of Black brands and just make sure we sell, you know, we create the space for them to meet more customers globally.
Definitely.
So it'll be good, you know, for us to continue this dialogue and create that partnership. And I would love to see you guys do certain partnerships with other marketplaces like you've already been doing and just go from there. So great work, man. I'm really proud of you, bro.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
All right.
So that being said, you have a great rest of the day, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon, oh God.
Hey.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yes, sir.